I'm about as big of a Ricky Gervais fan as they come, and I always look forward to a new movie by him. But I have to say, The Invention of Lying is certainly a little bit different from his usual stick. I mean, Gervais pretty much plays the same type of character he always does, that slightly nicer, nebbishy kind of guy, but one who's smarter than the rest of the people around him and usually uses that to his advantage. What makes The Invention of Lying so interesting is that the world that the film takes place in is almost like a Dr. Seuss book brought to life. There's something completely unnatural about it, and it's a little bit kind of strange at first. In case you don't know, the film revolves around a guy who invents lying. In a world where lying has never existed, everyone tells the absolute truth. He becomes the first guy in the world to tell a lie. And of course, things spiral out of control from there. What's interesting is that not being able to tell a lie in this world apparently means not having any tact either, as people can't just keep their mouth shut and not say something. They have to blurt out every single thing they're thinking. So far beyond not just telling a lie, it's more like a world where people have no control over what their mouths say. If they think it, they have to say it. And while this certainly leads to some really good comedy, it also makes for a slightly strange viewing experience. Luckily, Ricky Gervais is surrounded by an able cast of supporting actors, including Jennifer Garner, Louis C.K., Rob Lowe, Tina Fey, even Jonah Hill, who I generally don't like, but he manages to not completely annoy me here, and so he doesn't ruin the movie as he has done with several other movies. Ultimately, it's a fun movie. It's certainly worth checking out if you're a Ricky Gervais fan. But I'd be lying if I didn't say that I was a little bit disappointed in it just because I've come to expect really brilliant things from him. And while this movie is certainly fun and interesting, it doesn't quite qualify as brilliant. In terms of the Blu-ray, you get a pretty standard comedy transfer and audio mix here. The picture quality is pretty solid. You get nice colors. Everything looks crisp and clean. There's a definitely upgraded clarity over the DVD version. The transfer works perfectly fine. There's nothing about it that really stands out, but there's nothing in the film really that kind of stands out. It's kind of a very normal film, so to speak. It takes place in very normal neighborhoods, very normal locations. Everything just has kind of a realistic look to it, which I guess, in terms of a film like this, is a positive thing. In addition, the surround sound feature is fairly sedate. You don't get too much in terms of the surround sound. The speakers kick in when they need to create some ambiance, but it's not really a particularly active movie, so the surrounds give you some good kind of atmosphere when they need to, but you're not going to be hearing any major. You're not going to be ducking your head when a plane flies by overhead. That's for sure. In terms of special features, the Blu-ray is definitely the way to go in that it has a lot of things on it that aren't on the DVD, such as a short prequel called The Dawn of Lying, a making-of featurette, which mostly revolves around people talking about how brilliant Ricky Gervais is, which I agree with. Meet Carl Pilkington, which is really one of the highlights. If you're a fan of Ricky Gervais's podcast, you will know who Carl Pilkington is, and it's a great chance to kind of see him and not just hear him as you would in the podcast every week. And then there's also Ricky and Matt's video podcasts, which are about 10 minutes worth of the video podcasts that were created to promote the film, and anybody who knows Ricky Gervais being off the cuff knows how much fun that can be, so these are certainly worth watching. The standard definition, or the standard extras, include some deleted scenes and some outtakes and ad-libbing, stuff like that. So really the Blu-ray is the way to go. On top of that, you also do get a digital copy of the film in case that's the sort of thing that interests you. So The Invention of Lying is a fun, unique, for sure, film that's worth checking out if you're a Ricky Gervais fan, but it's not quite the sharp, biting commentary or comedy that we've come to expect from him as of late.